Stop. Before you skip this episode, let me ask you something. Have you ever listened to an entire English podcast, nodded along like you understood everything, and then someone asked you, what was it about? And you just blanked?
Oh my God, yes. This literally happened to me yesterday.
Wait, really? Tell me.
Okay, so I was listening to The Daily on my commute, right? And I was so proud of myself for finishing a whole episode without subtitles.
That's great.
But then my coworker asked what was today's daily about, and I was like, politics? Something about a thing?
Huh. That's exactly what we're fixing today.
Please, because I felt so stupid.
You're not stupid. You just don't have the right strategies. And today, we're giving you 4 game-changing techniques that will transform how you listen to The Daily.
4 strategies? That sounds manageable.
Not just manageable. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to understand The Daily without constantly pausing to check your dictionary.
Okay, now I'm interested, but can I confess something?
Go ahead.
Sometimes I listen to The Daily and honestly, I just hear sounds. Like I know they're speaking English, but my brain is like, nope, too fast, too complicated, abort mission.
That's called overwhelm, and it happens because you're trying to understand every single word. We're going to teach you a different approach today.
I'm ready. Where do we start?
Okay, first question. Why did you start listening to The Daily in the first place?
Well, everyone kept recommending it. It's super popular, it covers important news, and I thought if I can understand this, I can understand anything.
Exactly. The Daily is not easy English.
You can say that again. It's fast, it's full of big words, they talk about complex topics.
Politics, economics, international relations.
Sometimes I think, why am I torturing myself with this?
But that's exactly why it's the perfect practice tool.
How is torture perfect?
Because if you can handle The Daily, you can handle anything. A casual conversation? Easy. A Netflix show? No problem. A job interview? You got this.
Okay, I see the logic, but how do I get from total confusion to I got this?
Context clues. That's the secret.
Context clues, like what we learned in elementary school?
Exactly. But most learners forget to use them when listening. They only use them when reading.
Wait, you're right. When I read, I'm okay with not knowing every word, but when I listen, I panic if I miss something.
That's the problem. You need to give yourself permission to not understand everything.
That sounds wrong. Shouldn't I try to understand everything?
No, native speakers don't understand every word either.
Really?
I promise. When The Daily talks about complicated economic policy or technical scientific terms, I don't know all the vocabulary, but I still understand the episode.
How?
Context clues, and I'm about to teach you exactly how to use them.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the first strategy?
Strategy number 1, definition clues. This is when the speaker literally tells you what a word means.
Wait, they do that?
All the time. You just have to train your ear to catch it.
Give me an example.
Okay, imagine you're listening to The Daily and the host says, the new policy was unprecedented, meaning it had never been done before in the country's history.
Oh, the word meaning is the clue.
Exactly. When you hear meaning, your brain should immediately go, okay, they're about to explain that word.
What other signal words should I listen for?
Great question. Listen for these phrases. In other words, that is, which means, or to put it simply, essentially.
Can you give me a real example from The Daily?
Sure. Recently, they talked about AI, and the host said something like, the algorithm was opaque. In other words, users couldn't see how it made decisions.
So opaque means you can't see through it, like not transparent?
Perfect. You got it from context.
Wow, I didn't even think about it. My brain just figured it out.
That's the power of context clues. Your brain is smarter than you think. You just need to activate these strategies.
Okay, but what if I miss the signal word? Like, what if I'm not paying attention and I miss meaning, or in other words?
Good question. That's why we have 3 more strategies. You don't rely on just one. You use all 4 together.
Okay, what's strategy number 2?
Strategy 2, synonym clues. This is when speakers use multiple words that mean the same thing.
Why would they do that?
For emphasis and for clarity. Native speakers pile on synonyms to make sure you understand.
Can you show me?
Sure. Listen to this. The candidate's speech was inflammatory, provocative, and designed to upset people.
Okay, so even if I don't know inflammatory or provocative, the third phrase, designed to upset people, tells me what they mean.
Exactly. Each word builds on the previous one.
This is like layers of meaning.
Yes, and The Daily does this constantly. They'll say something like, the legislation was ambitious, bold, and aggressive.
So if I know bold, I can guess ambitious and aggressive are similar.
Right. You don't need to know all 3 words perfectly. You just need to understand the general idea. The legislation is strong and pushing for big changes.
This is so smart. But wait, how do I know they're synonyms and not different things?
The tone and context. If they're listing them with commas and, they're usually building the same idea.
Okay, that makes sense.
Here's a practice tip. When you hear a list of adjectives or descriptive words, assume they're related. Don't panic and try to translate each one separately.
Just get the vibe?
Exactly. Get the vibe first, details second.
I like that. What's strategy 3?
Strategy 3 is my favorite. Antonym clues.
Opposites?
Yes, this is when the speaker contrasts 2 things, and you can figure out the meaning by knowing what it's not.
Oh, interesting. Example?
Okay, unlike the previous mayor who was cautious and slow to act, the new mayor is impulsive.
So I don't know impulsive, but I know cautious means careful, and the word unlike tells me they're opposites.
So impulsive must mean
Not careful? Quick to act without thinking?
perfect. You just learned a new word without a dictionary.
Whoa, that actually felt easy.
That's because you used context. Your brain did the work.
What other contrast words should I listen for?
Great question. The big ones are unlike, but, however, on the other hand, in contrast, whereas.
So basically any word that signals a change in direction?
Exactly. When you hear these words, pay extra attention. The speaker is about to show you 2 different things.
Can you give me a daily example?
Sure. They might say something like, while supporters praised the bill as progressive, critics condemned it as reckless.
Okay, so progressive is positive and reckless is negative. They're opposites.
Right. Even if you don't know both words, the structure, while supporters, critics, tells you these are contrasting opinions.
This is like solving a puzzle.
It is. And once you start noticing these patterns, listening becomes so much easier.
Okay, what's strategy 4? I'm on a roll now.
Strategy 4, example clues. This is when the speaker gives you specific examples to illustrate an abstract concept.
Can you show me what that looks like?
Sure. Listen. The city faced serious infrastructure problems, such as crumbling bridges, broken water pipes, and failing electrical grids.
Oh, so even if I don't know the word infrastructure, the examples tell me it's like the physical stuff that makes a city work?
Exactly. Bridges, pipes, electricity. Those are all infrastructure.
That's so helpful.
And the Daily uses this all the time because they're explaining complex topics to a general audience.
What phrases should I listen for?
The classics are such as, for example, like, including, for instance.
So when I hear such as, I should pay extra attention to what comes next.
Yes, because the examples will explain the big concept.
Give me another example.
Okay, the company faced regulatory challenges, including lawsuits, government investigations, and new compliance requirements.
So regulatory challenges means legal problems with the government?
Perfect. You got it.
This is amazing. I feel like I have superpowers now.
You do. These are the same strategies native speakers use automatically. We just made them conscious for you.
So now I have 4 strategies: definition, synonym, antonym, example clues.
Correct. But there's one more secret weapon I want to teach you.
There's more?
One bonus strategy, narrative flow.
Okay, what's narrative flow?
The Daily tells stories, right? They don't just list facts, they build a narrative.
Yeah, they usually start with a person's story, then zoom out to the bigger issue.
Exactly. And you can use that story structure to predict meaning.
How?
Okay, imagine they're telling a story about a protest. They describe peaceful marchers, police arrive, tension builds. Then they say, the situation escalated quickly.
Even if I don't know escalated, I can guess it means got worse, got bigger?
Exactly. The story flow told you that. Things were calm, then police came, then it escalated. Logically, that means it got more intense.
So I'm using logic, not just vocabulary.
Yes, your brain is connecting the dots based on the narrative.
This is why stories are easier to understand than lists of facts.
Exactly. The Daily is actually easier than you think because it's story-based.
Okay, so I have 5 strategies now. The 4 context clues plus narrative flow.
Right. And now I'm going to teach you how to actually use them when listening.
Okay, I have the strategies, but how do I actually apply them when the Daily is playing at full speed?
Great question. This is where the 2-tiered approach comes in.
2 tiers?
Yes. Tier 1, listen for the gist. Tier 2, listen for details.
What's the difference?
Tier 1 is your first listen. You're only trying to answer 3 questions. What's the topic? What's the main idea? How does the speaker feel about it?
That's it? I'm not trying to catch every fact?
Nope. First listen is just for the big picture.
Okay, I like that. Less pressure.
Exactly. So let's practice. Imagine you start a Daily episode about climate change. The host says, Today on The Daily, we're discussing the controversial new climate bill making its way through Congress.
Okay, so topic is climate change, main idea is a new law, and the word controversial tells me people disagree about it.
Perfect. You got the gist in literally one sentence.
That was easy.
Right? And now, as the episode continues, you're not stressing about every word. You're listening for repeated terms and key phrases.
Like carbon emissions and renewable energy?
Exactly. You don't need to translate those, just recognize them as important.
Okay, so after the first listen, I have the general idea. Then what?
Then tier 2, you listen again for specific details.
Wait, I have to listen twice?
If you want to really understand, yes, but the second time is so much easier because you already have the framework.
What am I listening for the second time?
Specific arguments, examples, numbers, names. Now you're zooming in.
And that's when I use the context clue strategies?
Yes. The second listen is when you hunt for those definition clues, synonym clues, all of them.
This makes so much sense. I've been trying to do everything in one listen.
Most learners